You just hit send on that crucial email. You know, the one to a potential new client with proposal you spent all week perfecting. You feel a wave of relief, but then that little doubt starts to creep in. You pull up your send folder, read it over one more time, and that's when you spot it. A teeny but glaring grammatical error. A single common gerund mistake that makes your whole message feel off. And just like that, all your confidence is gone. We've been all there. That sinking feeling of wanting to unsend an email is the absolute worst. But what if I told you that you could get rid of that fear, at least when it comes to one of the trickiest bits of English grammar? I'm talking about gerund phrases. They sound super technical, I know, but we use them all the time in English. And when you get them wrong, it can instantly undermine your credibility, whether you're writing an email, giving a presentation, or just chatting with someone. In this video, we are going to break down the 5 most common mistakes people make with gerunds. And more importantly, I'll show you exactly how to fix them so you can communicate with clarity, precision, and most of all, confidence. Let's dive in. All right, mistake number 1. This one is subtle, but getting it right is a classic sign of polished, correct writing. It's using the wrong pronoun right before a gerund, specifically using an object pronoun like me or him when you really should be using a possessive pronoun like my or his. Let me show you what I mean. Take this sentence. My boss wasn't happy about me arriving late to the meeting. Now, this sounds totally fine in a casual chat, right? We hear it all the time. But if you're writing something formal or professional, it's technically incorrect. The real focus of the sentence isn't me as a person. The focus is the action of arriving late. A gerund, arriving, is acting like a noun here. Think of the action as a piece of luggage you're carrying. It belongs to you. You wouldn't say, my boss was happy about me luggage. You'd say, my luggage. The action of arriving is your luggage in this sentence. It's something you possess. The correct version is, my boss wasn't happy about my arriving late to the meeting. The same logic applies here. I appreciate you helping me with this project. It's wrong. The correct sentence is, I appreciate your helping me with this project. Again, what are you appreciating? Not the person themselves, but the act of helping. The helping belongs to them, so it's your helping. While the casual version is common in everyday speech, sticking to the possessive pronoun in your writing will instantly make it feel more polished. It's a small tweak that signals a really strong command of the language. This next mistake is a big one, and it trips up pretty much everyone. It's mixing up gerunds and infinitives. Certain verbs in English demand a gerund after them, while other verbs demand an infinitive. Using the wrong one can make your sentence sound awkward and just plain wrong. Let's look at a clear example. I enjoy to watch old movies. It should be, I enjoy watching old movies. Think of it this way. Certain verbs are just picky eaters. The verb enjoy, for example, only likes gerunds. It will always choose watching over to watch. Other common verbs that do this are avoid, finish, can't stand, and suggest. You'd say, she avoided talking to him, not she avoided to talk to him. Then you have the other side of the coin. Verbs that must be followed by an infinitive, which is to plus the verb. We decided buying a new car. The correct version is, we decided to buy a new car. The verb decide is the opposite of enjoy. It only eats infinitives. It will always choose to buy over buying. So do verbs like want, need, hope, plan, and agree. Your job is simply to remember which verb prefers which format. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Some verbs can be followed by either a gerund or an infinitive, but the meaning of sentence changes completely. Take stop. He stopped smoking. This means he quit the habit. He doesn't smoke anymore. He stopped to smoke. This means he was doing something else like walking and he paused that activity to have a cigarette. To make that clear, think of your day as a road trip. When he stopped smoking, he ended the road trip for good. But when he stopped to smoke, he just pulled over at a rest stop. The main journey of his day will continue right after. The same thing happens with verbs like remember, forget, regret. Getting a handle on these is a massive step towards sounding more fluent. Have you ever read a sentence that just felt wobbly or unbalanced? You might be looking at a case of faulty parallelism. This happens when you have a list of actions in a sentence, but you don't keep the grammar form the same. Imagine you're listing skills on your resume. It is incorrect to say, my main skills include managing terms, budget creation, and to lead projects. Think of your list like a team that needs to wear a uniform. You can't have one player in a baseball jersey, another in a business suit, and a third in a tuxedo. The team looks messy and unprofessional, isn't it? To fix it, get them all in the same grammatical uniform. One way to correct this is to use all gerunds. It is correct to say, my main skills include managing teams, creating budgets, and leading projects. See how smooth that is? It's consistent and professional. Here is another example. It's wrong to say, I like hiking, swimming, and to read a good book. The sentence starts strong with two gerunds, but then clunks to a halt with that infinitive. To fix it, you could say, I like hiking, swimming, and reading a good book. Or you could use all infinitives, which also works perfectly. I like to hike, to swim, and to read a good book. When you're proofreading, especially sentences with lists, read them loud. Your ear will often catch faulty parallelism before your eye does. If a list sounds clunky, check if you've mixed your verb forms. Fixing it is easy. Just make every item in the list match. Just jumping in for a quick pause. If you're finding these tips helpful and you want to keep improving your grammar, do me a quick favor and hit that like button below. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on future lessons. It really helps me create more content just like this for you. All right, let's jump back in. This next rule is one of the most solid in English grammar, which is awesome because it makes it easy to remember. The rule is this: if a verb comes directly after a preposition, that verb must be a gerund. Here is an analogy to make it stick. Think of a preposition as a special kind of doorway. Only a verb with an ing ending has the right key to open that door. Prepositions are words like in, on, at, of, for, about, after. It's incorrect to say, I'm interested in to learn more about the position. The verb to learn has the wrong key. It can't get through the in doorway. Correct way to say this is, I'm interested in learning more about the position. Let's look at a couple more. She is good to solve complex problems. This is incorrect. The preposition is at. The correct way to say it is, she is good at solving complex problems. It's incorrect to say, Thank you for to help me. The preposition is for. The correct way to say this is thank you for helping me. This rule also applies to phrases that end in a preposition like look forward to. The word to in this phrase is a preposition, not the start of an infinitive. This confuses a lot of people. For example, I look forward to meet you in person. This is incorrect. The correct sentence is I look forward to meeting you in person. So the takeaway is very simple. Preposition plus verb, that verb has to end in ing. Burn this rule into your brain and you'll automatically fix a huge number of potential errors. Okay, for our last mistake, let's get into the slightly weird identity of the gerund. A gerund is a verb that acts like a noun. This dual personality can lead to some awkward phrasing. One common error is putting the word the in front of a gerund phrase when it's the subject of the sentence. For example, the going to the gym every day has improved my health. This is incorrect. The correct sentence should be going to the gym every day has improved my health. Okay, let's understand this in an easy way. Think of the gerund phrase as the star of your sentence. Going to the gym every day is like a famous actor walking onto a stage. It doesn't need an announcer like the to introduce it. It has enough star power to be the subject all by itself. Let's take a look at it again. It's incorrect to say the building a successful business requires dedication. The sentence should be building a successful business requires dedication. Another tricky spot is knowing when to use a gerund versus when a regular noun would just sound better. This is about choosing the right tool for the job. A gerund names an activity, while a pure noun often names a concept or a result. For example, look at this sentence. Her mastering of the subject was impressive. What would be the better sentence? Her mastery of the subject was impressive. The gerund mastering is like a power tool. So the more elegant noun, mastery, is the better tool for the job. Similarly, you'd say, I enjoy painting to describe an activity, but I enjoy the painting to refer to a specific piece of art. Alright, so there you have it. 5 most common mistakes to stay clear of with gerund phrases. Let's do a super quick recap. First up, use a possessive pronoun like my, your before a gerund in formal writing, not me or you. Second, learn which verbs are picky eaters. Some takes gerunds, some takes infinitives. Third, always use parallel structure in your lists. Keep your team in the same uniform. Fourth, remember, a verb right after a prepositional doorway must be a gerund. No exceptions. And fifth, let a gerund phrase be its own subject without sticking an unnecessary the in front. Getting these rules down won't just save you from some cringy errors. It'll seriously level up the quality and clarity of your communication. You'll sound more professional, more articulate, and more confident. Grammar isn't just about following rules. It's about making sure your ideas land exactly the way you want them to. Thank you very much for watching. Now I have a little challenge for you. In the comments below, try writing your own sentence using a gerund phrase correcting after a preposition. I'd love to see what you come up with. Until next time, keep learning and communicate with confidence. This is Rohit from eWorld the English World. Namaskar.